welcome to some Lim gameplay today. Today we're going to be playing, obviously, Lim, because this leader is really interesting. It gets a lot of support in OP13, but we're going to be cooking up in OP12, because this is actually a fan favorite deck for many, many people. So, with this leader, it just plays all the characters enter as rested. So anytime we play out a character on the board, say we play out this 5-cost Doflamingo, 5-cost Newgate, 5-cost Enel, any character, 1-cost of Pooh, does not matter the typing, it comes in to play rested. Yeah, that sounds pretty bad, but when you have a leader ability that says activate main once per turn, rest 3 Dawn, set up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck as rested, so you gain 1 rested Dawn, then play 1 5-cost or lower Odyssey type from your hand, you're able to spam out the board correctly. And it also has very strong effects that, you know, kind of deal with being rested. You have strong effects like Doflamingo that say if you have 2 more rested cards, set this card as active. So on the first turn we play it, yes, we can restand it if we have 2 more rested cards. On the second turn, we can attack in and then restand it. We have the ability to rest a 5-cost here, then KO one of your opponent's 3-cost or less using Newgate, which, you know, has to have 2 or more rested characters. All these have to have 2 more rested characters, basically, but so we're going to stop repeating ourselves on that. Enel, you draw 3 trash 2, so you filter the hand like insanely, so if you need certain cards in a matchup, Enel's your guy. We have cards like Draco Mihawk. This card restands an Odyssey type character. And just remember, when it says 2 or more rested cards, it includes itself. So, you know, say we have this 1-cost Scratchman Apu, we tap 3 Dawn for our Lim leader to play out like an Enel. Now we have 2 or more rested cards because Apu's rested, Enel's rested, so now we get to draw 3 trash 2. It's really easy to put these effects live. It's just using them properly and keeping and maintaining your board presence. So yeah. Mihawk, though, restands a 5-cost Odyssey type, so we could, you know, strap up really big on Enel, rest 3 Dawn for our leader effect, and then swing, you know, 7 Dawn on top of the Enel, so it'd be 13k. Yeah, 13k at our opponent, tap 3 for Mihawk, restand Enel, swing 13k at our opponent. It's a strong utility card here in the Mihawk. This is your game finisher. Then you have the Sabo. These are all of our 5-cost options. That's why we're covering them first. This, you have to have 3 or more rested cards in play, but it gives you the ability to draw 1 card, going +1 in hand size. And if you have the ability to restand this card, it just continues to gain value. You build up a very large hand size. And you're kind of wondering, well, this card doesn't have a Doflamingo effect to restand at the end of the turn. So how would we restand Sabo? Well, when going first, which is what we like to do because we're a purple deck and that's how we ramp out properly, we play down Lim. Lim is like the MVP of this deck. If this card were to be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may instead rest one of your Odyssey type characters, and then end of your turn, you may set one of your Odyssey type characters as active. So on turn 1 playing Lim, we can then restand Lim. Then on turn 2, we can cheat out Sabo, and then restand Sabo using Lim, you know, without having to attack in or lose the board. Then, on our next turn, we can play out Doflamingo. We can then swing with Lim, because Lim will restand herself. And then we can restand Sabo, or we have Sabo to attack in, because we have the rested Lim, the rested Doflamingo. And then when you attack, that character becomes rested, allowing you to have your 3rd card to draw 1 card, going +1, or basically going even for the first one, but after that, it continues to gain value. And what we can do on that 3rd turn is instead we restand the Doflamingo, and then instead of restanding itself, we just restand Sabo to continuously get value out of the Sabo. That is just a very strong combo in the deck. We also play a Searcher here in the Odyssey Lim. Look at the top 5, reveal 1 Odyssey type card other than Lim. Simple, easy, it grabs all of these options here, so a lot of cards are searchable, other than our 2k counters. The only searchable 2k is this one we'll cover in a minute. But it helps us, you know, kind of go through the whole deck. Then it says end of your turn, if you have 3 more rested characters, set this character as active. So now, on a whole different, you know, kind of level, we have Lim, which will restand itself. We have the Doflamingo, which will restand itself. So let's say we play this on 1 Dawn, we play Doflamingo on 3 Dawn. Now we're hitting 6 Dawn, because we ramped 1 Dawn as rested. We have 4, we gain 2, now we're at 6. Well, now we have the ability to play out Lim. That's going to be our 3rd rested card because we have 1, 2, and 3. These all restand themselves as well. We can attack in with the Doflamingo. That'll restand. That's fine. Then we get to cheat out another body using leader effect. So let's say we cheat out a Newgate now and KO a character on our opponent's board, or rest their character and attack into it. Whatever we have to do. But now we have a rested Lim, a rested Doflamingo, and a rested Newgate with an active Lim, right? So 3 rested cards. So how the order of operations go would be restand Lim first, because then we would have 2 or less rested cards. If we were to restand a different character first, then Lim would not get its ability. So now we restand Lim, the 3-cost Searcher. Then we restand Doflamingo, giving us 2 rested cards. Now we're down to 1 rested card. And then we have the new gate, which is still rested, which we get to restand with the 1-cost Lim. Our entire board just restands over and over again when you find this Lim. This is an MVP. The Lim Searcher is an MVP, replacing itself in hand and restanding itself. And yeah, honestly, I really enjoy these cards very much. We're also running some searchable 2Ks, which we talked about, like the Adio. This is the only searchable 2K actually in the deck. If you have 2 or more Odyssey rested cards, this card gains plus 1000 power. It's mainly in there as an option going second, because then you ramp into 7 Dawn, so 3 Dawn for leader ability, 4 Dawn for a 4-cost character. So it's a good 4-cost character to play. That's also the reason we play Crocodile. Crocodile's in here if your leader has the Odyssey type. This character cannot be KO'd in battle by leaders, so we use this as a utility option into the Zoro matchup if they get the first curve. It's actually pretty good because they can't attack it. You know, it stays rested, but they can't really attack into it or rest it and then swing into it. It helps us keep control of our board. Early game, this is very strong against that matchup. Other cards, though, we're kind of just going to cover. Scratchman and Pooh is a 1-cost when you need another rested character. It also rests a 2-cost on play, but usually it's a 2K counter that just is a 1-cost option to put onto the board if you need additional rested characters. Like if I need to restand my Doflamingo and all I have on the board is Doflamingo, well then I can just tap 1 Dawn and play Scratchman and Pooh. They get some kind of trigger to KO my board, yada yada, whatever. It gives you a versatile option to have a 1-cost that's rested. We also are running the 2-cost or the 2K counter Nami as a 1-of. This is also searchable Odyssey type. I kind of forgot we were running this as a 1-of. If you have 2 or more rested cards, up to 1 of your opponent's rested Dawn will not become active in the next refresh phase. So if our opponent's going into like an 8 Dawn or 9 Dawn turn and we know what they're going to play on curve because we saw them search something, we can just stop that from happening, which is really strong. It's also a 2-cost character that can be rested, so then we can use the effects of our other characters, so we can use it as a versatile option for sure. We're running the 6-cost Sakazuki. This card will KO a 5-cost on play if you have 2 or more rested characters. It is not playable off leader effect, which does suck, but I see why they did it. It's a 6-cost 7K with no counter, and honestly, I find this card to be kind of mid, but just being able to remove Cavendish, Carrot, all the cards that really oppress us is really strong. Running 1 of the 9-cost Zoro. This used to be the only option for Lim, just ramping into 9 Dawn as soon as possible and putting down the big boss monster. You don't have the ability to restand it, but if you can keep this on the board, say your opponent straps up really big and you just block out of the big attack, and then we get to use this. This is just a finisher for the game. We're also running Adio. I actually like this card more. I find it to be more versatile. On your opponent's attack, once per turn, you may rest 1 of your Dawn, up to 1 of your leaders or character gain plus 2,000, and on play, if your leader has the Odyssey type, set 3 of your Dawn cards as active. I find this card actually to be very strong. A lot of people do not think a free 2K counter is strong, and I think you see that in Ace, but Ace uses cards in hand, and it gets to draw more cards than us. But this means we don't have to use cards in hand, we just get a free 2K counter for just 1 Dawn. This card, I think, is really good, especially when we pair it with the counter events we're going to go over later, just giving you a versatile option to save your board without losing your hand size, because in this deck, your opponent will always swing your board if you're not restanding your characters properly, so make sure you are doing that or you have this out to get free counter. We have Usohachi here. If you have 8 or more Dawn cards on your field, rest up to 1 of your opponent's 5-cost. With not having Rush, because all of our characters come out rested, the only options are Mihawk and Usopp or Usohachi to finish games sometimes. So having this implemented in your strategy is very important because we don't have Rush. You can't play Hody Jones in a deck when Hody Jones comes out rested. That does not finish the game. So we're having to use cards like Usohachi, Sakazuki to KO blockers, or Draco Mihawk to restand our characters to get an extra swing, a 9-cost Zoro to really finish a game. These are the characters you need to see to finish off a lot of matchups, just depending on what color or deck you're playing against. So keep that in mind. We don't have Rush, and also when you play against a Lim, you remember they don't have Rush. They can have restand, they can have resting, they can have KO, but they just don't ever have Rush. So as long as you don't lose to one of those options, you will never lose the game if you play properly. It's important going against Lim, it's important playing Lim, knowing that that's what your opponent can do. Now we're running Dead Man's Game. This is our Hody Jones. It says activate main, rest 3 additional Dawn to the 1, so 4 total Dawn. Rest 2 of your opponent's characters or Dawn cards. This helps in the purple matchups because obviously you have blue-purple Luffy, and being able to rest down that Dawn is very important. Now, we do go really wide into the blue-purple Luffy matchup because we just spam out these 3, 5s, and 6-cost bodies. Even the 4 costs are getting out there. So that's kind of the goal, in my opinion, with Lim, is just to go wide in that matchup as soon as possible. Maybe dropping down the big guy to really keep you alive. But, we're just going to see if we find that match on the sim today, we'll test it out. But Dead Man's Game is going to be clutch to stop Gum Gum Giant. Running 1 of the Blast Breath. Blast Breath, I think, is actually really freaking good in this deck because we ramp up so aggressively and we don't need 10 Dawn. Like, even on a 10 Dawn turn, we play Adio, we restand 3, and then we have 4 Dawn. So we can hold up these counter events because we've already gone wide, or if we need to go wide, we can tap 3 Dawn for leader effect to put out a body while also holding up 1 for blast breath. This gives you a 4k counter on a leader or character. I find this card to be really good. Obviously it's not as good as Gum Gum Giant, that's literally -0 cards in hand, but it's very strong to save your board, especially if your opponent's swinging into, like, let's say we put down a Zoro on 10 Dawn. Well, now we have a 4k counter in hand, especially when we're limited on our search ability for our 2k counters. Then we're running Judgment, or Hell's Judgment. This is a Dawn -1, up to 2 of your opponent's leaders or characters gain -3000 power for the turn. -6k across the board is very strong, especially when you can separate it between characters. So it does have to be 2 separate characters. You can't do -6k to 1, but this is really implemented in the Zoro strategy. You know, going against Zoro and how they just clear your board, this gives them a -3k. So when they swing 8 into your 6k body, it gets you out of that attack. Then they swing 5 into lead, we give them a 1k, and we minus down the Tashigi, which is 7k, into a 4k. Being able to stop both of those in the Zoro matchup is very, very important. Either that or they have to strap up even more Dawn, which is also always good for us. So Hell's Judgment, really strong, especially into their restanding and restand events. And yeah, that's going to be green-purple Lim here. I'm excited to deck test today. This is my own deck profile that I built. I used some ideas from other deck profiles, but a lot of people aren't running the 9-cost Zoro, 9-cost Adio. Nobody's running Crocodile, but I think Crocodile's actually very strong at the current moment. So hey, I'm excited to run this deck. I hope you enjoy the content. As always, like and subscribe. As we're almost at 3,000 subs, we're like 45 subs away. I will be at the Charlotte Card Show this weekend selling One Piece cards, buying One Piece cards and collections. So come out and see me at the Charlotte Card Show if you're in the North Carolina area, as I go to many card shows across the US, but mainly going to be in North Carolina a lot more of this year. So if you're in the area, come say what's up, or come travel to say what's up and see so many amazing vendors. I appreciate it, and let's go straight into some games. Purple Katakuri here, and our opponent chooses to go first, of course, so this is not a good hand. We're gonna mulligan. We do get the Lim that we need, but we don't get much else, so it's not the greatest options here for us. We are going to play down the Lim. The Lim is going to restand itself at the end of the turn. We're just going to pass and restand itself. Simple and easy, so we get to keep that board presence. The Katakuri can actually play characters that do remove Lim, fun fact, but we're going to leave that for a later problem, I'm hoping. We could have played both Lims just to have 2 rested characters for the 3-cost Lim here. Maybe that was a misplay, maybe it wasn't. We are going to take this attack. We do find a Dead Man's Game. Ooh. Okay. So now we know exactly what we're going to do since we top deck the Doflamingo. I'm actually just going to swing 5 at our opponent. We don't really need to swing the 6. We can keep the 1 Dawn active in case we want to counter out of something. We're then going to swing 0 into our opponent. You have to do this a lot with this deck, swinging these small bodies just to use their abilities. We're going to gain 1 rested, cheat out Doflamingo, pass the turn. You have to make sure to do Doflamingo first because it restands itself, then Lim restands itself. So keep that in mind, it's very important. Our hand is very small in counter, but we can remove the PRB02 on this next turn. This card is a menace in the Katakuri deck, so we need to make sure we have a way to remove it if at all possible. They can Dawn -1, look at the top of our deck, then they can gain an active Dawn after this. We will counter this, and there's a reason why we're going to counter this with a 2k counter. Actually, no, I'm going to take this. The reason I took that is because we can remove this Charlotte Pudding, or the Charlotte Pudding doesn't have the ability to attack when they ramp the active Dawn here with PRB02, and we have Sakazuki on curve, so that's going to be very strong to remove the board. Now we can use Lim to actually restand Sakazuki so we can keep board control of ourselves. I was basically trying to stop them from putting 1 Dawn on Pudding and swinging 5, because then that would have been a block 1k and then a 1k out of life, and I did not really want to do that. Now we're going to swing 0 into our opponent, then we're going to swing 5 and then 6, simple and easy. We are going to swing 5 and 6, just since we're already down to 2 life, I'd like to hold the Dead Man's Game as much as possible. Then 6, we are going to not leader effect this turn, but we're going straight into our 9 Dawn turn. We'll KO the PRB02, end our turn. Lim's going to restand itself. Doflamingo's going to restand itself. Lim could restand Sakazuki, but I think we just restand the Lim again, because if they're swinging into Sakazuki, that's going to be less counter and pressure on us, so we're kind of okay with it. And the fun thing we can do is, now that we're going into the 9 Dawn turn, we can 3-cost leader ability and Sakazuki and KO another PRB02 if that's what they decide to play. Usually here they want to play the new 7-cost PRB02 Charlotte Pudding that allows them to draw 2 cards, play out an 8,000 power or lower Big Mom Pirates type from their hand, usually into 8-cost Katakuri. And yeah, it's 6,000 to 8,000. They go Conquest, okay, or Sovereignty, Hakai Ocean Sovereignty, KO 2 of your opponent's 6-cost or lower characters. That's actually pretty strong. And that's why We have Dead Man's Game. They are swinging 6, it looks like. Interesting enough. 5? Only 5. Okay. So, of course, we will counter this for 1k. They could go 6 here with Pudding. Instead, they're going to Katakuri. And I am not going to deal with a Katakuri. I want that to be known. I am not going to... No. So what we're going to do here is tap 3 Dawn. What are we going to do here? Tap 3 Dawn. We could rest and KO the Katakuri. I don't think they get much value out of Pudding anymore, but we can go and remove that as well. So we're going to start with the Newgate, because we need to get our board back. We'll gain 1 rested Dawn, Newgate, rest and KO. And then we can tap 6 for the Sakazuki. We could just tap 5 for a Nell. I don't think they get much value out of Pudding at this point, but having a 6 cost is really strong. But then we don't have the counter events active, and we only have 1 2k. No, I think we can Sakazuki here. I think that's pretty acceptable. We're actually not going to restand the Lim itself anymore. We're actually going to restand the Newgate in this situation, because if they want to attack 0 into 0, we're actually okay losing the Lim at this point, this late into the game, because now we're going to have a larger board. As long as they don't, as long as they don't have 2 of these, which usually they only tech in 1, or potentially have 2, but if they do, I'd be kind of amazed. We're going to let that go. Not really worried about saving the 0 into 0, as we said. The Pudding here does nothing for our opponent. They're going to tap 1 to look at the top 5 for a Big Mom Pirate site. They can also grab Animal Kingdom, but they're not playing those, so we're not really stressed about it. Okay, another Hakai Ocean Sovereignty. This card is busted right now, like it's doing everything they need to. Finding every single one of those is kind of annoying, but hey, it happens. It is what it is. They're going to swing a big 8 at us. We're 7. They're not going to Dawn -1, so they don't want to go back to 8. We will take this. We kind of have to in this situation, sadly. And now we need to 1, 3. So we tap 1, 3, 3. We'll have 3 additional Dawn, so we can swing 7 at our opponent. That makes the most sense to me. Maybe they didn't want to Dawn minus because they want to Dawn minus here to stay a little healthier. We need to apply some pressure here. I'm almost at the point where I'm like, there's no way they have more. We're gonna 1 cost, then we're gonna 3 cost. Search the top 5 to see if there's a better character to play at the moment. We don't specifically find one. My question is, I don't think we need to fix our hand at this point because we have the Mihawk, we have the Enel. I think we actually grab the Sabo as a priority target for our opponent to remove. Then we tap 3 to play out Sabo, and then we can pass our turn. Lim first, because Lim restands itself. Lim next, restanding the Sabo so we can get the draw 1. Now if they find another Hakai Ocean Sovereignty, we do have to counter out of the next attack, and it would be a pretty big one, because that would be, what, another 8? They play down Sanji, Pudding, and Steph, so when they go Dawn -2, they get to set a Dawn as active. What effects do they have at this point that give them Dawn -2? I wish we still had the Sakazuki in hand to remove something like this, because I am a little scared at the moment, but you really never know. They should go 0 into 0 again, and they could just swing really big into our life, and we don't have a blocker in hand, so that would be kind of bad. They should Dawn -1 here for the leader effect. Is there ever a world I just take? Can we pressure game on this next turn? They have 2 Dawn active. The answer is no. We sadly just can't. Do we 2k 2k or 2k 1k? I think we 1 cost 1k here, just so we don't have to leave up the additional Dawn for Dead Man's Game. They're going to go 0 into 0. Again, we let that go every time, and then we decide what to do. They're going to play Katakuri here, and then cheat out Katakuri. Absolutely busted. They get an entire board here, and we just kind of get a little cooked. So we can swing 7. Let me think about this. 7, 7, 9. No, we need to go 6, 7. You'll see what we're doing here. I'll explain it as we go. So we're going to start with a 6k. We need 3 or more rested characters for Sabo. So what we're going to do is draw the card on the second swing of Sabo, using the Mihawk here to apply pressure. But they don't really want to take the free block because we could strap up and swing huge into the Katakuri, which is actually my game plan here, because we need to remove this card if at all possible. So we can go 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, then we go 10, then we go 10, 10, right? So we'll start with a 7 here. They probably block because it is a free block and it saves them on a 2k, 1k, or they could just take the attack. Personally here, I would just take the attack. So if you take that attack, even with the restand here, we go 10 and then 10 again, then you block in 2k, 1k. So that's actually a misplay on our opponent's part, but that's what we kind of needed. We are going to go 10 to the Katakuri because we need to remove board in this situation because of our low hand size. And our opponent does save it. We tap 3, play out Mihawk, restand Sabo, and swing 10 more, and now we're able to draw a card. The new gate's nice, not the counter that we need, but we do get to remove the character off the board, which is always going to be nice. Lim restands itself, and now what does our opponent decide to do? Our opponent could go 9, in which we would be able to counter, because then they can just go... We will have to counter this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have guaranteed lethal here. They have guaranteed lethal. If they do things correctly. 2k, 2k, 1k, right? We get out of that attack. Then they can actually just go 5, 6, 7, 7, 7. Okay, so this is a 2k. We actually wouldn't lose because they can go 7, 7 here thanks to the pudding. They could go 6, 8. They just go 6, Dawn -1, which you can't get out of. Then they strap up 8 here on pudding. They actually did things perfectly because then they can get a blocker instead. So we take this. Maybe that's our little bait. Nope, they go for the 8. GG's. That was a close game. They had the ability to go into the 8-cost Katakuri instead, but then they would have a brick at 2k, and we would have had the restand Mihawk. In that situation, they just controlled our board a little too much. You know, having double Hakai Ocean Sovereignty is tough, man. If you can control Lim's board, you kind of just win, and finding 2 of those is kind of absurd for a Katakuri that probably only runs 2, but hey, it happens. GG's to our opponent. On to the next one. We start with a loss. Let's keep it moving. All right, we're going to take on some blue here. Drink of the day is Nutri protein shake. We're going to take first, even though they like to go second. We probably should have taken that, but hey, it is what it is. We got the Lim. KM 5 cost is not great in this match. Mulligan. Wow. Sim shuffling at its finest. Sim shuffling. We're going to tap 3. We're going to gain Arrested Dawn. We're actually going to cheat out the Lim here to look at the top 5 and grab a Nell so we can fix this hand. And we're going to swing 5. We should have swung 5 first, of course, because that's what you should do in these matches, but we did not. So if we get bottom decked, that's just my fault. That's my life. But actually, I'm okay with that. I would much rather that Gravity Blade hit 1 card now for free than 2 cards later at a cost. And that might be crazy to some people. That's just the God-given truth, man. The God-given truth here. Well. That 3 cost would be really nice to have right now. So we're actually going to utilize this Nami. Watch this. Lim for... Swing 5. Swing 5. We're going to take them off their 6-cost curve because that's exactly what they want to do. This is where this card becomes good. Look, 1, 2, stop a Dawn. You're not hitting 6. You're not hitting Kuzan. You ain't doing nothing to me, buddy. And then guess what? Tap 3, gain 1 rested, and cheat out a Nell to draw 3. We're going to trash 1 and trash... We normally don't need 2. So actually, we have 4 Mihawks. Just trash 2 Mihawks. There is absolutely no way. Should we have this restand itself? I think he's going to strap up really big and swing into a Nell. We're going to lose the Lim and the Nami here. But I think his goal with being at 5 Dawn, I think he was just going to swing 10 into a Nell. That's just my honest opinion. Yep, 2 into 0, you got it. 3 into 2, you got it. I'm not losing cards in hand for this, especially. So we're just going to let all of that go. We do have the new gate. Rest of 5 cost, 2 of those things. A Zephyr. Trash 2 cards from hand. You may trash this character. Return it to one of your opponent's cost 5 or lower characters to their hand. So he's going to go and pop that and return the character to our hand. I'm not loving it here. I'm not loving it here at all. We're going to go ahead and we're going to be on a 9 Dawn turn. Newgate's not horrible to KO the Sengoku. We're not really worried about Tashigi. So I think we're going to go Newgate. We're going to go Doflamingo Newgate on this turn. So we're going to give them a Nell, I believe. The issue with Sabo is not getting it out now. So 3, 5. We can swing 6 into our opponent, or we can play Lim. I actually think, does that switch me up into Sabo? I actually think that switches me into Sabo Newgate. Because the Newgate just gets no value. Right? So what we're going to do is Sabo first. So we're going to swing 5. That's what we're going to do first. We're just going to swing a simple little 5. Then we're going to rest 3 to cheat out Sabo. We're going to rest 5 for the Newgate. don't think we care about Sengoku that much, because they're going on the 8 Dawn turn. They're going to use all 8 Dawn here. So I think we actually go into Doflamingo, because Doflamingo will restand itself. 1 for the Lim. We're going to Doflamingo first, then restand Sabo. We're going to lose the Lim, but that's what we do. It's either we lose Sabo or we lose Lim, and I'd much rather lose Lim here. If they Gravity Blade, we're cooked. If they Gravity Blade, we are cooked. They don't. They play the Garp on curve just like we would expect. Now here is where they go very wide. They get to stop us from attacking, so that's where the Kuzan is strong against this Sabo here, not giving us the draw 1. That's going to be really obnoxious. They trash a Red Rock, draw a card, filter through the entire deck, because that's what this deck does well. And they stop our Sabo from attacking. Well, guess what? 3, 5. We can swing 5 at our opponent. We're going to really just pressure them here. A simple little 5. We could have gone 6, but I'm okay with a 5 here. We're going to go... eight into our opponent. We're going to go 3 to look at the top 5 and grab us another Doflamingo here. And then we're going to tap 5 for the Mihawk, restand our Doflamingo, and swing another 8. Trying to pressure them down as soon as possible. Then at the end of the turn, Lim will restand itself first, of course, then Doflamingo will restand itself. We have 3 active bodies. They're going to swing into the Mihawk to remove it. We have a small hand size here. We don't have any 2Ks at the moment, so we kind of just have to let this go. We will counter 1 with the Newgate. I don't think we're worried about a small blocker, and even if we did, Gaudino would just draw them cards, so we don't really care for that either. Then they have an 8. We will take the 8 here. We get to draw into an Adio, which is a 2K counter, so we finally hit 1. Then they're going to Kuzan our Sabo again, stopping us from the ability to draw. And then they're going to leave... Are they going to leave 4 Dawn active? Are they seriously about to leave 4 Dawn active? No, they're going to play the Gaudino. They are going to play the Gaudino. Okay. 7. I think we just pressure again. And then we Doflamingo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Leave 1 active in case there's a counter event here. So we Doflamingo and Mihawk. So we just swing 5 with Lim first, of course, just in case they have any triggers. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I think we're gonna go 5, 7, 7. And I think we're gonna leave 1 Dawn active because we do have to worry about them going for game on this next turn. So if we do find a counter event here, we're gonna be in a good spot. Hopefully we find a counter event here and we're in a good spot, but maybe not. Draw 3, trash 2 might be nice here. But we could draw 3, trash 2. Filter through the hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're actually gonna do that instead. I think I've completely changed my mind. Because then we'll have 2 blockers. We have the Mihawk still. I think that's the best play. Because now they just have the blocker and it's a 7K. It's not that big. So now we force them to leave more active Dawn next turn. I think we're going to tap 5 here. Draw 3. Trash 1. That didn't really do much for us. We went even in hand size though, which is important in this situation. We're going to rest 3 and then cheat out the Doflamingo. And then pass. So Lim first, then Doflamingo, then Doflamingo. They can only take down 1 of our bodies. They do have 4 total attacks coming in. They go 8 into 6. We're going to let that go. They have a very strong board here. We're going to look at an 8. We'll take. We do get the 1 cost event. We will go ahead and cash in on the 1 cost event here. 1, Dawn -1 plus 4K. That'll get us out of the attack perfectly because it's an 8K attack. They're going to Kuzan for a 74th time. 74th Kuzan here. Pretty good for our opponent, stopping the Sabo from drawing us more cards. They only have 4 cards in hand though. They do have a blocker, but we have 4 total attacks coming in. They're going to swing 6. We're going to give them a 2K. And then, this is it. This is all or nothing here. We have the 5th Mihawk. Double blocker kind of sucks, actually. Oh, but then they get to draw cards. Would you rather them draw cards or block? I think we'd rather them draw cards here, actually. I think we'd actually rather them draw cards. Because if they block, they just guarantee get out of an attack. This is not guaranteed counter because they're Kuzan. Kuzan does run a lot of bricks. So we're looking at 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. A bunch of 7s, right? And I think that's the best option because we could go just 2 really big swings. but then they have blockers. Since they have blockers, we go more wide with our attacks, so we're going to start with the 7K from the Lim, and then we can always change our mind. 7, 7. Ah, they do take that. Trash one card, draw one card. I don't think that's correct, dude. That card's at 4K counter in hand. They must already have all the 4K counters they need. Now that they took the first one, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we just go 5, 7, 9. Now that they took the first one, I think we go 5, 7, 9. 5 is just a 1K. That's actually a 2K. 7. Now I'm wondering. They Pheasant Peck the 7K. Trash a card, draw a card. Now we go 9. If they can counter the 9, we just lose. Right? If they can counter the 9, we simply just lose. Do we? If we restand, if we just play Doflamingo, actually, I don't think we lose either way. This time though we couldn't restand the Lim. No, we just let Apu go and we lose Lim. Okay. Gain 1 rested, Doflamingo, so that we have the extra rested character now. Lim restands itself, Dofi, Dofi, Dofi. So we have 3 blockers, they have 4 attacks, we have 1 life. They have to split here with Galdino, or they have to be able to bottom deck 2 blockers. This, we can just counter 1. We still get to hold onto the Mihawk potentially. This, they swing 8. We can actually take this first attack. We get a 2K counter. They swing 8, we block. They swing 8, we block. Now what could they do? We have our 3rd blocker here, so they can't really go in with the Galdino. I think no matter what, we just win now. I think no matter what, we just win. They get to get a free Dawn, filter to the deck, get rid of a brick. 3 Dawn active. They can only at most do 2 Pheasant Pecks at most. So what we do here is basically what we've done before. First off, we're just going to swing 2. We need the rested character for the Mihawk potentially. I'd rather just have it. We're going to go 7. And then we're going to go, 7, and then 1, 2, 3. We're going to go 7, 7. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go 7 again. This is guaranteed now because they only have 1 card in hand. It was only a 1K. Then we were going to go 9 and then restand again. GG's to the Kuzan. That is a very freaking tough match. If they would have had the Gravity Blade in the end there, if they didn't trigger it early, it actually would have lost us the game. So that early misplay where I like freaked out was actually the savior of the game, because Gravity Blade on that turn removes 2 of our bodies. They go 8, 8, 8, 8. We have a 2K 1K. Even with the 2K 1K 1K, we only have 1 blocker. So we block out of 1 attack, we counter out of 1 attack, take, and we're just dead. We were just absolutely dominated if they had that Gravity Blade. GG's the Kuzan player. That's a tough freaking match thanks to bottom decking. But hey, on to the next one. Let's test out a UP matchup here against Blue Purple Luffy. They're going to take first away from us, so we're actually looking for a 4-cost option to play. Mulligan that hand, and we don't find it. We do not find it. We do not find anything that we actually would need in the game, so we're not cooking very quickly. We're not cooking in the kitchen. Pass to our opponent. You don't want to play this 1 cost. He just swings into it. We lose cards in hand, basically. 6 we will take because we're looking for more options. They are a blue deck. We need to keep that in mind all the time. We need to play the Apu this time now that we can restand the Doflamingo. We just automatically lose 1. Choose no cards. Gain 1 rested. And we're going to cheat out that Doflamingo blocker. Now we're going to pass. Restand Doflamingo. We can't swing in because we're only a 5K into a 6K leader. Now it kind of forces their attack into the Scratchman Apu here. We could block in 1K, but I think we're actually just going to let it go. Thanks to the Lim being in our hand, now we can play Lim, play another character, and be totally okay. Gives us options for sure. The goal is just to go as wide as possible. If they double ramp here, we kind of just lose no matter what. Any deck that Blue Purple Luffy can double ramp against, you just lose. The game's just over. They're going to go 6 into 1. We're going to let that go every single time, just as I mentioned. No reason to block in 1K and just lose cards in hand. Then they're going to tap 5 here for a Nami. That's going to draw them 3 cards, put 2 cards on the top and bottom of the deck in any order. That's good for us. Not ramping into 8 Dawn this early is really good, because they could like Gear 2, Mr. 2 Bon Clay, and we're cooked. And yeah, so they put 2 cards on the top of the deck, 2 cards that they want to draw into and keep, so we know they have a pretty strong hand, it seems like. Now we could Sakazuki and KO the Nami, but is that value in this situation? Let me think. Would we rather go wide? I think we'd rather just go wide here so we can swing 6 at our opponent. And then we need a character that's going to restand itself. So we're going to Lim first. We're going to swing 6, Lim, then decide what to do. We can draw 3, trash 2. We got options. We got options for sure. So 6. We actually have no characters who can restand themselves as the final card. So Lim will restand itself to a Flamingo, but no matter what, the last character will not. Under Bagua, into 7 Dawn. Now they're going into 9. They can play down a 9-cost Rush Luffy, which would be really bad for us. They can play an 8-cost Rush Luffy and remove our Lim. Those cards just being in life is absolutely absurd. They took the first life pretty aggressively. We're going 6, and we could actually technically go another... That's telling me to go another 6. Look at the top 5. We're going to grab a... Newgate, actually, would be pretty strong here. It's the only option other than Sabo, and we already have a Sabo. Do we restand this early? I don't think so. I think that would be a waste. We're going to gain 1 rested, and then we're going to cheat out the Sabo to start drawing cards, hopefully. Pass, again, Lim first, because if we restand Dofi, we lose everything. Lim first, then Dofi, because this has to have 3 or more. This has to have 2. So, always restand Lim first. Remember, that's important. Very important. They're going to hit the 9 Dawn turn. They're going to God Thread the Doflamingo, and then I'm thinking they're just going to strap up and swing Sabo. I think that's for real the move here. I don't know that you'd have much else, sadly. We're going to swing 6 leader, 5, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 6, 7. What the heck? I hate blue-purple. I hate blue-purple so much. They're going to swing 7, 8. I forget they're a big leader. And we could counter to save it, but we would just lose way too many cards in hand. So we're just not going to. We're going to lose our entire board instead because why not? You know, that's just the life we live. 3 Dawn active is really annoying. We're going to simply just swing 6. Right, we're on a 10 Dawn turn. So we're going to be able to swing 6 here into our opponent. We're then going to rest 3. No, we're going to swing 5 into our opponent here with Lim. Lim will at least restand itself, which is always convenient. So 5, just have another rested character. Then we're going to rest 6 for Sakazuki, KO in the Nami. We're going to rest 3. Gain 1 rested to cheat out a Nell to draw into some counter. We're going to drop the... I think we're going to drop the Lim. I don't think we're going to need 2 Nels. We may actually need 2 Mihawks in this match. I don't think we're going to need 2 Nels, and I don't know if we'll need this 3-cost Lim because it's a 5k character. I'd rather keep the bigger characters. No counter at the moment, by the way. Who needs counter anymore? Our opponent could 9-cost, swing into the Sakazuki really big, or swing into the Enel to make us lose cards. I'm actually okay with that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm okay with that. They can't remove anything with the Luffy. They can go 6 into 6 here. We'd 1k. Then they tap 9 or 8 for the Doflamingo. So I guess they can go 7 potentially into Enel. They don't know we don't have 2ks though. So we should be in an okay spot. Should be in a good spot here with Lim. Again, we're just going to go really wide. They grab a Gum Gum Giant from the top of the deck. What a beautiful alt art that is. Then they get to stack the top of the deck however they want. I'm assuming it's a 9-cost Sanji turn here based on how they kept the hand earlier with Nami. I'm assuming you would already be set up or you'd bottom deck it if that's not what you had. They're just going to 8-cost Luffy, 8 into 6 here. So they're going to be able to go 8 and 8 into board. They're going to be able to bounce this Lim and control our board per usual. So that's really good for our opponent. They're going to leave 2 Dawn active on this 8 into 6. They're going to discard a gear 2, bounce the Lim. And we're actually going to let this go. They get a rested Dawn. They could go 8 into Sakazuki. I think they're just going to go 7. So we let this go, because if not, they just put 1 Dawn and swing another 8. It's not worth countering out of in this situation. They're going to go 7 into 7 here, which we will 1k out with the Newgate. I don't think the Newgate's going to have much value after this. Now we get a Doflamingo. This only restands 5 costs or lower, so that gets no value this turn. So what do we do here? 6. We need 3 and 5. We need to leave 1 active. So we're just going to swing 6, 7. I hate that I did that. We're going to swing 6, and then we're going to swing 7. We're swinging 6 first because we don't want to commit the character in case they Judgment of Hell. See how they put this into a 3,000 power character? We did not want to commit that early and just lose anything. Our 2Ks are just not searchable right now. 3, 3. Leave 3 active. That doesn't feel good. I'm thinking. Do we have a Mihawk? We just don't get much value out of Mihawk. So now we're gonna rest 3 here. Judgment of Hell was really weak right there. So no reason to even play the Lim because they just bounce it back anyways. What am I even thinking about Lim for? So what we're gonna do here is actually gain 1 rested to Doflamingo. And then we're going to tap for the Enel, draw 3. We're going to trash 2. We're going to trash the Lim because it absolutely gets no value. And trash one of the Mihawks because we have so many. We'd rather keep the blocker in the removal. Then leave one Dawn active. Doflamingo restands itself. We can actually get out of attacks finally because we have a big 4K counter. Blast Breath, really good card. Really good card. I wish I could fit the 8-cost Doflamingo package in here to cheat out this Odyssey Doflamingo, and then the Doflamingo restands itself, or cheat out Rosinante, which would restand 2 Dawn, and then we start playing a counter event heavy Lim, but I just haven't gotten that far into cooking with the deck, so if you guys think that's something we can do, hey, let me know down below. I'm totally always down to cook with you guys. I think we're just going to have to let the Enel go when they attack into it, because if they play Rush, we would be kind of cooked. They grab an Uso Hachi here. They could Uso Hachi this turn, but that's just so bad. That's just so bad. I mean, I guess it's good if your goal is to clear board, but to me, that's just a horrible hand. They get to draw 2 cards here. 5-cost Rosinante, get rid of Thunder Bagua, draw 2 cards. They get to draw the 2 cards they just saw. Now they God Thread away the Doflamingo, and now they're going to swing 6 and 8. This we will definitely get out of because they controlled our board how they did. They don't want to discard cards because they don't want to lose cards in hand. We are going to Blast Breath, Dawn -1 plus 4K. So we're going back into 10 Dawn anyways. Then they're going to swing 6. We're actually going to give them the 1-cost Lim here. And we're kind of cooking. No Dawn active is scary for our opponent. Very scary for our opponent. We're going to start with an 8K. I'm worried more about an 8 than a 6 here. It depends on how our opponent reacts, okay? They could Judgment of Hell again, and that would also just be good. Like, straight up would just be good here. But we have the Sakazuki as an option. A 6 Dawn play, still available, and still playing out a Doflamingo. So we can go 8 first, test their hand, and then decide if we want to go more aggro or more passive depending on what they do. So now they Gum Giant, they discard a Rosinante, and they get out of it. So now I'm a little less prone to actually going for game because they already got out of the first attack. Now we go another 6. Then we are going to cheat out the Doflamingo, and we're going to go with Sakazuki here. So rest 3, start with Doflamingo, of course. Rest 6, go ahead and pop the Rosinante, and then pass. We get to restand 1 character. We have 3 Mihawks in hand, so not a lot of counter. Rush Body would be really strong for the Luffy, but I think we have enough Mihawks here to apply pressure, because we can go 8-8-8, technically, with what's given. They really just didn't lose any cards in hand, though, because they started their turn at 5 cards. They end the turn at 3 cards, then they draw 2 more cards. They grab another Gum Giant, of course, because Gum Giant's just busted. And then place cards on the top of the deck. So a 9-cost Sanji into a Rush Luffy would be really bad for us, especially knowing the limited amount of counter that we've seen so far. But that's okay. Hopefully that's okay at least. That's the hope. We've gone very wide. We've played this just about as best we can at the moment. We're just gonna have to see how this goes. We're just gonna have to see how this goes. This is a very complicated deck to play for our opponent, so they're gonna have to take a moment to think. Looks like they just want to go 10 into 6. I'm gonna let 10 into 6 go. Now I know they're not doing a 9-cost. They're potentially doing another 8-cost, but I'm not gonna counter out of the 10 here. We don't have active Dawn. I think 10 was actually overkill. Knowing that we have 3 cards in hand, I think you just swing 8, unless you really need these cards gone. They're gonna swing into 7. Because we actually have the Draco Mihawk, I have to let this go, because the Mihawk can only restand 5 costs or lower. So 3, 5, so we can go, we could just go a bunch of 8s. Let's go 8 again. They have so many Dawn active. They could, 8, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 11. So we're gonna go 6. We're gonna, because they took so aggressively, we're actually gonna change up the whole idea anyways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't pressure game next turn anyways. Even with 1 rush option, we still have 3 life, so we're in a really good spot. Both of our Doflamingos will restand themselves. So, or 1 Doflamingo will restand itself. They have to Gum Giant out of this. -2 Dawn. And then discard a card. They discard a 2K counter, interesting enough. Then they 2K out of it with another 2K counter. Then we gain 1, we cheat out the Mihawk, restand the Doflamingo, and we swing in again. 11K into leader. At this point, if they do Dawn minus again, they lose their leader ability, so they Thunder Bagua instead, giving them plus 4K and give us a 2K counter. Then we restand Doflamingo, and then they have to swing board again. Like, they have to swing board another time. We have another Mihawk. We're in a pretty damn good spot, in my personal opinion, depending on what they draw. They grab a Furnosuke 2K counter, So we're assuming they have a lot of counter or not a lot. They Nami, draw 3, they get a blocker on the board. That's actually pretty good in this situation, especially having a blocker to get out of these big attacks in case we Mihawk again is actually pretty smart. They can go 9, 7. I mean, they can go 8 into 6. I think we just let that go. And they can go 8 into 7. I will 1k out to keep that board alive to pressure game on this next turn. 8 into 6, that is correct this time. They choose not to use the effect to bounce anything. We let that go. And then it depends on how much Dawn they add on to their Luffy leader. Because we do know they have another Gum Gum Giant, I believe. Ooh. I just can't save that. I just can't do it. They are so lucky I just can't do it. So we just swing. I think we just swing 6 with leader. 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Or we go 8 with Doflamingo. It is just so weak. If they play Judgment, Hell's Judgment, we would just lose so much value there. I think we're gonna go with the 8 anyways. What does our opponent decide to do? If they have Judgment of Hell, they're in a really good spot. They have Gum Gum Giant instead, so they discard a card. Yep, they get out of it. Yada yada, whatever. Then we're going to tap 3. Game unrested for a Mihawk, restand. We're going to swing 8 more into our opponent. We're not going to be able to swing at the leader, but we're applying pressure as needed. They only have 1 Dawn active, so they can't Thunder Bagua shenanigans again, so they have to 2k, 1k. And then we're going to tap 5 for Doflamingo, restand both the blockers, and now they can't really control our board the same way. They can swing into the Mihawk again, but it's just been relentless. Finding all of these restand Mihawks has put us in a really good spot, but we've just not taken anything from them. They've built up a bear board by 1 card only, but they have 4 cards in hand again because they get to draw. They're down to 1 life. We're at 3 life. They would need Rush. Oh, they got Usohachi. They're going to be able to remove one of our characters. We did see them grab 2 Usohachis earlier. They could try to double Usohachi here and then swing board, swing board, swing board. If they can clear board, then they can confidently use the Luffy's effect to give them Arrested Dawn after they Usohachi. Usohachi could actually be fire. They limit their hand size, though. That is the biggest thing. So 8 into 6, we let that go. We have 1 2k now, which is actually really convenient for us. They God Thread a Doflamingo. Are they going to Usohachi it as well? There's no way, right? Because then they could swing 6. They just swing 8 in the lead. We're actually going to take that. Man. 3 Dawn active, bro. This is insane. Then we're going to go 8, 10, 10. 8, 10, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's the only move here. The Gum Gum Giant, this one, discard a card, draw 2. Actually, we need the Apu out there to then restand the Doflamingo. With them having a Gum Gum Giant that, I think we go another 8. That way we can still scratch from Apu and get our blocker back so they can't really go for lethal the same way. Feels like it's just a never-ending cycle. And then tap 3. Oh no, the Mihawk's gonna restand it. We actually didn't need to do that. And then we'll leave 2 Dawn active in case we Judgment of Hell. Literally, I'm gonna do it just in case. We haven't seen much counter events or counter. So the Doflamingo is gonna be able to restand itself. They 2k with the Usohachi, 1k with the Zorajuro. We restand the blocker. Dude, this game has been so much tedious gameplay. But this is what you guys come here for. It is for these good kind of matches. They grab a 9-cost Sanji from the top 5. They're telling me they have no counter at this point because you're not grabbing that card in this situation, in my personal opinion. That's telling me they're cheating on a rush unit as well. So they put the cards, actually they placed the cards on the bottom. They're not cheating on nothing. They ain't cheating on nothing in this situation. Could 2k, 1k. I'm actually thinking about countering for this one. I actually think it would be correct to counter because it's forcing them into the board. Actually, because I'm just worried about them having removal here for the Dofi, and then we just lose because we don't have rush. So we actually have to save this in this situation specifically. You actually have to counter that, forcing their next attack into the Mihawk, because if they have removal, then it would have to commit their Nami as well. So if they had rush, Luffy, they'd have to have removal, rush, and Luffy. So they 9-cost into Zoro, blind rip off the top. That doesn't get them what they need. They're going to go 7. Guess what? 2K counter, buddy. What you going to do with that? Oh my Lanta. 3, rest the Nami. 6. Top deck of a Sentry, baby. Top deck of a Sentry. 6, that's going to be another 1 card. And then guess what? No blockers on the board. Strap up with the Dofi, who was clutch as hell this whole game. GG's to our opponent, man. That game was actually intense there with Blue Purple Luffy. Hey, we started off the day with a loss, but then we got the win against the Kuzan. We got the win against the Blue Purple. We put on some meta performances here with Green Purple Lim. I hope you enjoyed as always. I appreciate all of the support. Come see me at the Charlotte Card Show or hit me up in the Discord if you want to sell One Piece collections. I'm always buying, trying to get more sealed and singles to vend at card shows. I have a big vendor POV coming out for you guys, showing selling One Piece cards, buying One Piece cards, trading One Piece cards, card shows, everything like that. So I hope you guys are excited. I have a collection video. I have so much stuff in the works. It just takes me like 3 weeks to do a vendor POV because it's literally 8 hours of footage. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.